Anyway, and Russiagate, I knew immediately Russiagate was bullshit because I brought on Bill Binney, who was the NSA's number one code breaker for decades and decades, and he came on and he explained to me that they didn't hack into that DNC server that was downloaded locally, right?
That's Jimmy Dore lying about a debunked source in the Joe Rogan Experience, one of 4 new home videos we'll review this week. Also coming up, an Eternal Bachelor Barfly Bitchfest featuring Bill Maher, Tucker Carlson tussles Lex Friedman's hair in his latest Creep Fest, and Tim Dillon and Alex Jones mount a remake, and each other, but with a twist in Last Tango in Paris, Texas. Sounds delightful.
Well, it's a lot of butter.
Our first video this week is the Joe Rogan Experience, a long-running franchise in cookie-cutter mode at this point. Usually features Rogan and one or more of the comedians from his personal stable of sycophants, and they sit around for a few hours, edging each other and their audience with right-wing political porn. Here, guest Jimmy Dore tears ass unimpeded through a gish gallop of lies, half-truths, specious arguments, and foreign
The
propaganda.
United States got in bed with right-wing Nazis in Ukraine to overthrow a democratically elected government, and then they started bombing the people in the east of Ukraine, called the Donbass, and they wouldn't stop. They had two peace agreements called the Minsk Accords. Guess who violated them? Ukraine. It wasn't that, and so. I've heard people say that, and then of course it was the expansion of NATO, right? The threat of putting NATO on the border of Russia, which everybody from Kissinger to Chomsky and everybody in between said that's a mistake. Don't do that. Well, that's of course what they're doing, and so what's the point of NATO anymore? And then this whole idea they're doing the domino theory again. Oh well, if we allow him to do this to Ukraine, he's going to go to Poland next, and it's the same fucking shit they said all the time. It's the domino theory, and again, the world's terrorists are the United States.
And while ostensibly we're listening to 2 comedians go on for nearly 3 hours unbounded, neither of them says anything remotely funny. The closest they come is when Dore repeats an old Bill Maher line about how Donald Trump is part orangutan. Watch here as Rogan poker faces that line with extreme prejudice because he finds it politically incorrect.
He hates Donald Trump, but I think I couldn't figure it out on the pocket. Like, he wouldn't even have a rational discussion as to why he hates him. He's crazy.
Yeah.
But the thing I found out that he was sued by Donald Trump.
Yes, so that's
probably it.
Because when he said that he was an orangutan, and that was.
In the end, this Joe Rogan Experience suffers from what they all do: bad faith and bad execution. Well, I agree, and nothing remotely funny or witty said. But Rogan spends a good deal of the time cackling at Dore, but only for the political pound of flesh any given statement can give him, not because it's actually funny. What it reminded me of was those old Herbalife videos of their conferences. There'd be a theater packed full of people, jazzed up and smiling and laughing, but not because the smoothies or the jokes in this case are actually any good, but because they're on a mission. This is mission laughter from Rogan. And you mentioned the Gish Gallop, which of course is an underhanded debate technique where you kind of overwhelm your opponent with nonsense. But I was confused because I thought, why is Dore Gish Galloping his buddy here? Because these are two bullshitters of a feather. And then I realized Rogan has a producer who can pull some of this stuff up in real time. And Dore doesn't want that. The Bill Binney thing, for instance, if you pull up Bill Binney, you learn in about half a minute that he's recanted all that stuff that Dore was quoting him as saying, and he's copped to have been manipulated by a Russian source. So I don't recommend it either. And you just walk away from the whole thing feeling like you need to take a shower.